Well, what's going on, everybody? Nick back in the shop, and we're starting the first build video of the Extra 330 from AJ. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to give this thing a good iron. We're going to tack down everything. I'm also going to be putting some clear nail polish on some of the under bits and a lot of the little tips of the monocoat. Hopefully just very subtle. You won't hopefully not even tell that it's there, but just to keep it from starting that peel up. So we're just going to start that process of prepping this airframe, getting it ready to go. Ryan's still hanging out with me for a little bit longer. It's actually the same day from the last video you guys just saw from the unboxing, and we're just going right into the first build. So yeah, let's get to work. So this graphite black is about the same as the black on the wing, so I'm just going to leave those guys bare. I'm going to paint these guys white and two of these white. Alrighty, wings are basically done. Once I just need to put the servo horns and the connecting rods on them. Went ahead and painted this one, but I let that one just be bare. Actually, the gray kind of matches the gray on there perfectly. Leslie is doing a fantastic job on painting taping off all this so that we can paint the engine compartment to protect it from all the oils and stuff like that from the engine and stuff, all that good stuff, and start working on connections. Let's keep going. Okay, that was the worst servo to try to get in its pocket. You definitely have to put the wire through that little hole in the back to try to use the wire to pull the servo in, but so that's the first bit of modification that I did. Just gluing some carbon spars to the bottom of this plate to stiffen it up for the aura. That's why you don't want to throw away your airplanes too soon, because they are a bunch of free carbon rods and balsa and stuff like that that you can use if there's a lot of good little parts there. So just cut out a bunch of this carbon rod and it's great for a lot of things. So definitely save all that before you throw away an airframe. But yeah, that'll stiffen up the plate a bunch. It already did. It doesn't flex as much as all anymore. So yeah, that's all I did. I really did not want to take the exhausts off because they have them on there. They've been on there. They don't like to fall off. I really don't like to take exhausts off because they, for some reason, love to rattle off. So when you get them on there, they're great. I have a little bit of gap here. I think the gap's going to be fine. So I think that I would actually just start cutting the cowl, getting the exhaust holes right. And then, because I'm going to have some clearance back and forth anyways for the rattling and stuff like that. So that's going to be naturally built into the cut. And I can play with the standoff spacing and all that good stuff. So yeah, I guess we're cutting the cowl. This is my least favorite part. I hate cutting cowls. Ah, God, I hate cutting cowls. right along. Cowling is finished. Looking like a scared robot. I prefer the square holes. I don't know why. I don't know. I like square holes. And engine is pretty much mounted. Probably going to be taking it off possibly again. I might not be. I got to drill the hole for the throttle. I'm going to see if I can do that without taking the engine off, just so I can keep going back and forth until I get that arm placement right. It looks like I'm going to be using this throttle, this servo mounting hole. That's probably work good for the geometry to make sure that that arm works well. And then we can start. Yeah, cowling's not going to be going back on for a while now, and then prop will be down the road. So what to do next? Oh, I got my servos installed for my rudder. I'm going to use 2 of these guys. These produce about 420 ounces of torque, so 2 of them should be plenty, and they're also retardedly fast. So that's going to be pretty nice to use for the 2 rudder. And the elevators are pretty much, they're probably cured up. See this epoxy? Yep, the epoxy's dried. So these guys are cured up. Just need to put some arms on them, and then those are completely finished. Wings are finished. Then almost all the control surfaces would be done. So I think, yeah, I'm just going to get the throttle out of the way. So we're going to mount the throttle servo, get an arm, and set all that up. Alright, so this is what I came up with for throttle. Put a hole through the back right there, plenty of clearance. I was able to use this very small little 1.25 arm and got a decent amount of resolution. That'd be full throttle, and that's idle. So yeah, a pretty good amount of resolution out of that servo. Probably could get more, but it's okay. That'll work just fine. We're going to go ahead and mount that servo, and then I could probably start figuring out mountings and stuff like that on the inside, because I'm going to leave the arm off for the servo. That's something that you always want to start a habit with, is don't even screw that arm onto the servo. Leave it off so that when you go to power up the plane for the first time, you don't accidentally have that servo on, because it's going to be wrong. It most likely, there's a 90% chance it's just going to be sitting there and binding while you're programming everything else, thinking hunky-dory, and then all of a sudden you burnt out your throttle servo. I think I've done it twice in my life now. So just leave that arm off, and then that'll be the last servo that you completely secure down once all the programming's done, and that way you don't burn out your throttle servo. I'm using another one of those torque servos for the throttle because they are ridiculously fast. So that'd be great for the throttle. Bit overkill for the throttle, but hell, I got one and we can use it. So let's go ahead and start. Yeah, I might start running wires to the tail. Get the, let's do links. Yeah, we're gonna do links. Then we'll start running wires for the tail and get that all hunky-dory and set up. And then, oh, I also need to still glue the horns in for the tail. So yeah, still a lot of things to do, but we're coming right along. Look at that fanciness. All connected to 1, split off to 4. That is pretty proud of that so far. This is going to be great. Alright everybody, I think we're going to end it for that video. We got a lot done on the AJ. A couple things that we still need to do. A lot of things that we really need to do. We need to fully run the lines for everything, smoke, fuel, all that good stuff. Tanks are placed. I loved the amount of space that they gave me for the tanks. I was able to put straps individually. I didn't have to use like one strap on both. It gave me a lot of holes to be able to do what I wanted to do. tail wires are ran. All the control surfaces are done. Actually, not all control surfaces. The rudder still needs to be complete. We're currently painting the horns over there, so we let that dry up. Ran a couple of wires trying to figure out about placement on where I want things. Looks like I'm going to be putting the receiver right there. I'm going to be putting my backup receiver probably back there, and they'll probably be relatively close to each other. I'm going to try to get the antennas aiming all different ways. Going to redo the wiring for this guy. I have no idea where the batteries are going to get placed yet. I'm going to placement on batteries probably going to be my last thing when I figure out where the CG is, and I'll use the batteries to help me achieve that CG that I'm looking for. I'm going to be putting, I have the IBEC, wherever it is, it's underneath. I started running wires, have the ignition plugged up and installed. I'm going to be putting the ignition light right here like I did with Ryan's airplane, so that at night it will light up the canopy. So I think that will be pretty fun. And then we have to do prop, spinner, drill that out. Then yeah, that's pretty much it. So only going to be one more build video for this aircraft. Usually these airplanes don't take me a lot to do. I think this is my second day working on this plane, so probably another 2 more days of just finalizing all the little things that I need to do, and then also just programming and making everything work. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stick around. We got a lot of cool things coming your way. If you have any questions about anything, please leave a comment. I respond to every single comment that we do. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff. It really does help us out. And until next time, see ya.